How should we make the most of nature's playground and stay within tight budgets at the same time? There's plenty of expert advice about both these issues. Landscape designer Judy Legg has some ready advice for teachers and others planning a play area.
Focus on features, elements, materials, especially materials, loose materials, that provide opportunities for a non-prescriptive play. So it's not defined what's to happen with these things, but which allows children to play in a way that invites their discovery and their control. When I talk about loose materials, I'm talking about things that you can find like straw bales and sticks and rods and twigs and berries and gravel and thorns, and everything that is lying around in a natural environment can be used in all sorts of interesting and engaging ways. And I think another key ingredient is probably to make sure that you've got storage right, so that these things can be used well, looked after well, maintained well. Yes, you'll need to replenish them and you'll need to refresh them, but the storage is quite a key thing. And I think probably the last thing I would say was try and grow a woodland in your garden, in your playground, because you will have everything you need from the environment, from the context and from the loose materials just arising from that woodland. And it takes a shorter amount of time than you would think for that to develop some maturity. People understand that it's important for animals to have natural materials and to have an environment that changes and an environment that challenges and invites you to take risks. And that is exactly the same sort of things that children need to have in order to thrive. You really need to have the persistence to dismantle all the anxieties that surround children at play, from cat poo to maintenance people who say no, to anxious parents that don't like their children getting muddy. I think it's just a constant process of dismantling all the anxieties that get thrown up.
You expect to have to take things with you. You know, we quite often pack a huge rucksack of things, and by the time you get up there, you've got a sore back from carrying it all. And I think I realised that we don't have to do that. You know, we can just go up there with minimal things, and once you get up there, there's actually an awful lot there to use.
Gus Egan is a master of finding ways to develop school grounds on any budget. He emphasises the importance of getting everyone involved.
Well, I think my top tip for creating green grounds is to be making sure that the whole school is involved in it, from the nursery school children to right through the primary school, to the teachers, to the cleaners, to the janitor, to the parents, because what you have then is that you have a great pool of people that are going to be involved in it, but you also have potentially a lot of resources available through having a far larger group of people, but also the children themselves being involved in. So I think if it was a top tip, it wouldn't be about planting a certain amount of trees, and it wouldn't be about having compost. It would be making sure that everybody is involved from the very, very beginning. We managed to do most things on a tight budget. I think the key thing is that you've got to really plan for kind of what you're doing. I think you've got to be prepared to kind of shop around and make sure that you're kind of using reliable supplies, not necessarily go for the cheapest thing. Try and use sustainable things, and try and always do things that are within your kind of means. Don't try and do something that's going to kind of confuse you and potentially end up costing an awful lot of money, you know. But there's lots and lots of things. A tree nursery is the best thing. Have a tree nursery, plant some trees. It's always a good one.
I think the most useful thing found today is that you don't need to have lots and lots of money to be able to create your wildlife gardens or to transform your school grounds to make it of benefit for the children to learn.